Hey, what's going on? It's CBG here, Team Freedom Focus. Okay, welcome. Okay, welcome to your first discussion inside here with me inside being self motivated. All right, you are an elite action taker. All right, you're not just a regular action taker, which means, of course, you succeed, you're high status, you deserve everything that you want in this world, and you do not confuse activity with achievement. A lot of people can take action, not a lot of people can take the right action and succeed with it, which of course is what me and you do. All right. And we do that by doing a lot of the stuff that we talk about here inside the elite self motivated talk here. Okay. So our very first topic that we're going to talk about is always being self-motivated, always being self-motivated. So what you're going to learn from today is how you can always derive your motivation from within. There's a very, very old saying I first learned from one of my mentors, Osho. He said, if you're deriving your motivation from whatever you're doing, if you're not deriving from within, you must be deriving from without, things outside of yourself. And obviously, anything that you're deriving from without is without. Okay, it's not actually there, it's not lasting, it's going to run dry very, very soon. But fortunately, whenever you're deriving your motivation from within for whatever it is that you're doing, it never runs out. The more motivation that you derive from within, the more your body recovers and gives you back even more motivation and motivates you even more. All right, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, here are the three main, most important reasons why I consider self-motivation just so much more important than external motivation. If someone were to ask me, Corey, can you give me a list of 1,000 reasons why being self-motivated is important? Well, I may be able to do it. I actually may be able to come up with 10,000 reasons why, but obviously we are elite action takers and we are self-motivated. We don't really care about the reasons why. The reasons why are honestly, truthfully, just used to distract you from your purpose, okay? We want to get the highest leverage points, the things that matter the most. Okay, so here are my three most important, most critical, most crucial keys for you to always being self-motivated. Number one, if I were to ask you why you haven't achieved everything you set out to achieve in life, do everything you set out to do in life, I probably could get a laundry list of reasons from you why you haven't achieved those things, right? I could get a ton of reasons. This happened, that happened, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, that happened, this circumstance happened. And if I were to ask a normal person, they're obviously going to blame it on things outside themselves that prevented them from doing and achieving those things. But if we get down to the truth of the matter, the real reason that you did not achieve whatever it is that you set out to achieve in your life, before you fucking decided to step up and roll with CBG, to join my team, to roll with me, to join Team Freedom Focus, it had to do with a lack of self-motivation, okay? The key quote that I want you to remember, I want you to write down and tattoo on the inside of your head, okay? It is at the point at which you would rather succeed than sleep. That is when you would be successful, okay? When you would rather succeed than sleep, that is when you would be self-motivated, okay? We all have the same exact 24 hours in a day as the guy who works at McDonald's and Donald Trump, okay? We both have the same 24 hours in a day, okay? But how Donald Trump uses his 24 hours than the other guy. The other guy, he just wants to get done with work, okay? He's waiting for the shift to end so he can go home, and he will do what? He will do nothing. He will not read a book. He will not give value to the world. He will not create. He will not evolve. He will not innovate. He will comment, consume. He will watch boring YouTube videos, TV. He will consume marijuana, consume shit food that does not feed his spirit and his body the right chemicals it needs. Okay, he will consume and comment and indulge in shit, okay? Things that do not help and support his body, okay? On the other hand, Donald Trump is not waiting for time to end at any point because time is irrelevant, okay? Time is man-made, okay? I want you to know Donald Trump is taking more action than anybody in the world right now, okay, at this point. And there is no point where he's like, all right, 6 o'clock, all right, I can clock out now. All right, if you were to ask Donald Trump, if someone were to ask him, let's say hypothetically speaking, if you say, all right, Donald, you're working towards Project X right now. How long are you willing to work on that project until it succeeds? Okay, you know what he would say? As long as it takes, okay? As long as it takes is the only possible answer. If it means that I worked all night and I don't go to sleep, fine. So be it, because when I wake up in the morning, when I'll go to sleep eventually after I am successful, after I succeed, because I want to look in the mirror. When I wake up, I want to look into the mirror in the morning. I want to see someone who chose success over sleep. I want to be able to look at myself in the eye, in the mirror. That is what it means to be self-motivated. And that is the very first key to being self-motivated. Okay. If there is something in your past that you set out to do that you didn't achieve it, the truth is, after you didn't achieve it, you stopped working towards it. You went to sleep on it. If you had been fully self-motivated, you would have kept going. You wouldn't have stopped. You would have said, that's the 86th possible way that it didn't work, and now it's time to test out number 88. All right, you would have kept going. I keep going. Donald Trump's keep going. Winners, champions, and victorious champions keep going. You keep fucking going. All right. So that is the very first key to always being self-motivated. Excuse me. That's the very first reason why you keep going. I keep going. You're going to put success over sleep. Okay. Number 2, external motivation runs out and internal motivation never runs dry. Okay, external motivation does not last and internal motivation never runs dry. Okay, I remember a few years ago, I was working on a different project on a different business, and actually one of my competitors actually went after my clients. He basically cloned my same service, and he copied it point blank and stole my clients and my customers. And he developed and attracted some of the customers of mine. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure he contacted them directly, but whenever I found it out, I was furious. I was livid. I was so fired up. I said, you know what? I'm going to take this guy down. All right, pulled out my whiteboard just like this. And I started making all these plans, these strategies, these ideas. I went all over it until about an hour later. That motivation, it kind of ran dry, all right? It kind of dissipated. It disappeared, all right? I was so fired up an hour later that I didn't have that much motivation anymore. I didn't feel that motivated anymore. It was kind of gone, all right? I couldn't even follow through on the action that I intended to take, okay? The reason for it is because my whole motivation for this whole new thing, this whole new strategy, this whole new plan that I was working on, it wasn't from me. It was from him, all right? It was externally motivated. I was pissed off because of something he did. While that can feed you for a second, for a little bit, you can't always rely on someone to bring you the food that you need. You got to bring the food home yourself and cook the eggs and bacon yourself, okay? External motivation never always runs out, and internal motivation never runs dry. You probably want to write that down and tattoo that on the inside of your skull, okay? External motivation runs dry. Internal motivation never runs dry. All right. Reason number 3 why being self-motivated is so important. You are in control of your destiny. When you are internally motivated, all right, it gives you control of your destiny. When you're self-motivated, you know how you drive yourself. Okay, you know what drives you. You know what triggers you. You know what sets you off. You know what sets you on your course, on your path, on your mission to achieve your goals, to have that killer instinct to hit your targets and finish your projects quickly and cleanly. You know what ignited that, all right? You know what drove you to do that thing, okay? It came from where? It came from within. It's always there. If it's a picture, if it's a thought loop, if it's a state trigger, you got it. It was for you by who? You. You can't lose it. It gives you total and complete and entire control over your destiny. And you know that it never runs out. And you know that you can always go back to that self-motivation to lift you up and keep you encouraged and keep you motivated and keep you achieving your goals towards your vision. All right. So those are the 3 most important reasons why being self-motivated is just so important. All right. So I'm going to go over the 5 most important keys to always being self-motivated in the next video. All right. So I can't wait to get started with you. Team Freedom Focus, be on the lookout for the next video on the 5 most important keys to always being self-motivated. CBG, Team Freedom Focus. I'll talk to you soon.